Good morning and welcome to Valley News Now. I'm Adam Shalafu. This morning, bringing you up to Grand Forks. North Dakota Hockey press conference is getting set to start in just under 5 minutes. That's set to begin at 11 a.m. UND coming off a dominant win 5-2 over Providence. Bennett Zmoliek and looks like we also have Owen McLaughlin taking the podium today, as well as head coach Brad Berry. Of course, stand by. The press conference should begin shortly. Eric Moon bringing us coverage up from Grand Forks, and we will begin that in just a few minutes. Stand by.
Bennett, just your thoughts looking back at Providence and what did you guys do well as a team in that game?
Yeah, I thought it was a good response for us. Obviously, having that sour taste in our mouth after Augustana. This time, I thought we brought a lot of energy, even when they did score on us. I didn't feel like we got too low, and then when we did score, I feel like we didn't get too high. Thought we played as a five-man unit, played hard, physical, all things like that.
What were some of your favorite spots to go in Mankato at outside of the rink? Do you have any favorite restaurants or places to visit?
Number 4 definitely is one of them. Yeah, that's a really good place to eat.
What's your order?
I was going to say the French toast is very good there. I'd always go with that.
How many of the? I know they turned over a little over half their team since you've been there. Did any of the guys that are still there? Did you live with any of those guys?
Yeah, I think a couple are still there that I lived with.
Who were those?
Will Hillman, Josh Grohl, Stephen Bellini, and Brendan Olson, I think, are the ones that I think are still left there.
And how many guys do you keep in touch with over there?
A couple of them.
Yeah.
Not too much. Yeah, since a lot of them have moved on from there, but I still keep in touch a little bit with a couple of them.
What was it like last year to have to miss that series?
Definitely tough, yeah. Seeing the other former guys I used to play with, and I was able to talk with definitely a handful of them after the game on Friday and Saturday, but yeah, it was pretty tough to be watched from the stands.
So going off of that a little bit, how meaningful are these 2 games going to be for you coming up this weekend?
Yeah, it'll definitely be fun being back in that building, seeing a couple of the guys I used to play with, and then it just being so close to home, so I'll have some family and friends coming, but yeah, it's just another game, but I'm excited.
From the team perspective, how important was it to get that first win over Providence to carry some momentum onto the road for the first trip this weekend?
Yeah, it was very important. Like I said, we definitely had a sour taste in our mouth after the Augustana game, and had a hard week of practice. It was big to get that win, and then just right back to it. Hard week of practice, getting ready for them because they're a big, heavy, hard team to play against. So we got to be ready right away.
Yeah, what are the biggest challenges of facing Minnesota State?
Like I said, I think they're big and heavy. They defend very hard, crash the net really hard. They kind of got it all: good goalie, good defense, good forward. So it'll be definitely be a challenge.
And how do you help some of the younger guys that maybe haven't gone on a road trip like this before to get ready to play a road game?
Kind of just tell them what experience you've gone through, things like that, and then tell them if they have any questions, just ask. But just kind of tell them what you've gone through, things like that.
Anything else for Bennett? Perfect. Thanks, Zeke.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, questions for junior forward Owen McLaughlin.
Owen, thoughts on going to Mankato this weekend?
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun. First road trip with the guys, so some team bonding, and it's a business trip. We got to go in there, and right now we're only worried about Friday night, and we got to come out with that same intensity that we finished the game against Providence with.
What do you like about road trips?
I think you get a lot of time with each other, and the bus trip and hotel and the meal Thursday night. I think you really get to bond as a team. So I think it goes a long way in terms of getting closer and playing harder almost.
What things do you want to see carry over from Saturday?
I think we played really well as a five-man unit, and I think we were smart with pucks. We didn't really turn a lot over, and we were forechecking well and moving pucks well. So I think if we can build off that and keep defending hard, we should be playing well.
You've seen Max Swanson play for a couple months now here. Just what stands out to you about his game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously his passing and offensive ability, but I think something I've noticed is how hard he plays and how strong he is in puck battles. So I think that goes a little bit unnoticed sometimes because he's a smaller guy. But, I think he's been playing really well.
What's he like off the ice?
I mean, he's a great guy. Loves hanging around with the guys. And, I love talking to him and hanging out with him. And, yeah, he's getting along really well.
How important was it to get that first win over Providence to carry some momentum onto the road this week?
Yeah, for sure. I think against Augustana was tough, and we needed to come back and put together a good 60-minute game, and I think we did. And, for the pairwise and stuff, it goes a long way. Starting 1-0 and beating a ranked team, so I think it gets us off on the right foot, and hopefully we can carry that over.
What are some of the biggest challenges that Minnesota State presents?
Yeah, I mean, they're an older team. They play hard. We've been watching some video on them, and they have a really good team, and they seem tough to play against. So I think that the biggest challenge is, can we manage pucks and simplify our game almost.
What, if anything, can you take from last year's series against them that can help you guys this year?
Yeah, I think last year it was they're a similar team in terms of how hard they play, and they play the right way, and they're coached well, and they have a good goalie. So you have to be playing well and managing pucks. You can't give them opportunities like that, and forechecking well, getting on their D, and I'd say stuff like that.
Bennett used to play for Minnesota State. It seems like, there's a lot of opponents where one guy used to play for the team that you guys are playing up against. Does it add some extra motivation for the other guys to be able to pull out a win, especially, or a weekend sweep against a team that your teammate used to play for?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely a part of it, but I think something in our culture that's really strong is it's kind of a faceless opponent for us. We prepare the same each week, and it doesn't matter who we're playing. I think that goes a long way in terms of being ready to play each weekend.
Anybody else for Owen? Perfect. Thanks, Owen.
Thanks.
Brad Barry, one of Haley. Right shoulder, Brad.
Hey, Tim, could you lift the back of your chair just a little bit? I want to get this wire. Nope. Yeah. Got it? Thank you. Yeah, thanks. There you go.
That is correct. Yep. Yep. Sometimes, like, he knows where he's going with the pass before the puck even gets to him. Like, he already sees what the next move is.
I mean, all of Britain. It was five sheep as far as it was like the national championship was wild.
Oh my god. I always wondered how guys develop that. Because that's something you're born with. You work on that. Saturday. I just don't know how you get that type of high rally. Together. Your vision has to be somewhat guy.
All right, we'll start with an opening statement from Coach Barry about this weekend's matchup.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to get down to Mankato and playing a couple of road games. Our first time with our team on the road, being away from the Ralph here, and had a good week of practice so far here. So in saying that, open up for questions.
What are your impressions of seeing Minnesota State play so far?
Yeah, they're an older, experienced team. I went through their lineup here, and I think they have 3 grads and a combination of grads, senior, juniors. They have 18 upperclassmen. So that provides a lot of experience, right? Guys that played a lot of college hockey, and they're good players. They play the right way. They play fast. They play a North game, and at the end of the day, they came into our building here last year. Tough series, and that's what we're going to expect this weekend.
What do you want to see carry over from Saturday?
Probably the consistency in our game. as far as our execution being at a high level, and then also the puck races, the puck battles, the intensity of our game. I thought, for the most part, the majority of the game against Providence, the guys did that. They fulfilled that, and we had a good week of practice again. We didn't let off the gas at all. We kept continuing to work on some of the things that we needed to do to bring consistency in our game, and I thought we've had a good week of practice here. But just the overall, just the intensity and the compete and the execution at a high level.
What are some things that stand out to you about Max Swanson's game?
He does everything very well. For a young guy coming in here, he doesn't look like a young guy. Calm under pressure, always knows the next play, plays extremely hard, finishes every check, and plays at a high level of skill, has a high level of skill in his ability. And I think anything that you give him, he takes. He can play center, he can play wing, he can play on the offside, which he's doing right now. And he can play all situations. But really excited about him in our group here because I know guys are excited to play with him on their line, and he creates a lot.
Yeah, I'm guessing a lot of guys, with the way he sets up his teammates, that's a line mate a lot of guys are lining up to play with.
100%, they are, and that's good on Mac. Like, at the end of the day, sometimes it takes guys a little bit of time to get adjusted to the level. There's a reason why he was a Player of the Year in the USHL and National Junior Player of the Year as well. And I think the beauty of Mac, he's a humble kid. He's a humble young man. He's a hungry and humble young man that wants to get better every day, and he knows he wants to earn it and not rest on his accolades. He's truly plays North Dakota identity.
During the preseason scrimmage, you guys had Dane Montgomery play a little D. During the exhibition game, he played a little forward. What is kind of the outlook for Dane this season, and just what can he do for you guys this year?
Well, when we talk about depth, in our team, forward depth and D depth, that's a big thing to have. It's like right now, everybody relatively healthy. Everything looks great, right, at the end of the day. But when there becomes injuries or there becomes a situation where guys can't be in the lineup, he becomes a valuable asset. He already is to our organization, but he's very dependable in the fact that he can play forward, he can play D, and he has a great attitude about it. Yeah, absolutely. He's competitive and he wants to be in the lineup, but the way we've had success here is guys that know their role and being ready for the next opportunity. You can look at NFL, NHL situations right now where guys have gone down early in the season and guys have to step up. The good organizations are the ones that have guys that are team first and willing to take anything that comes their way and play at a high level. And Dane Montgomery is going to be one of those guys.
Does he give you flexibility if he's used as the extra skater, because if something happens during a game, he can do a multitude of things?
Yeah, he can. Absolutely can. And, the one thing is it's always tough, too, if let's say you're practicing at the forward position all the time and then you go back on D. Well, that's a whole new world. But, with Dane, he's such a smart player and so competitive that, it's a little bit easier for him because he has a feel for it and he's open on doing it. He's absolutely invested in trying to help the team in whatever way. So he's done a good job. I'm hoping we can get him into a situation where it gives him opportunity early on here because I know he's going to help our team.
Also, for versatility, I know Cody Kroll's played both center and wing during his junior career. Just thoughts on his game on Saturday and what versatility he can bring? Yeah, well, I've been watching a lot of Cody over the last 2 or 3 years, and that's what he does, right? Like, he's a hard, skilled player that plays extremely fast, makes it hard on the opposition on forechecking, tracking pucks, getting pucks back, and creating some offense as well. And, I found that with him and Louis Jamernick and Jake Schmaltz, he complements that line in the fact that it's a momentum line. It's a team. It's a line that can drive your team and get things going. And like I said, another guy coming in as a freshman played some good minutes for us, and he did a really good job.
How important was it to get that first win just to carry some momentum onto the road this week?
Yeah, it was very important, especially coming off of the weekend that we had, the exhibition weekend that we had, to have a response, having some resolve and some resiliency to come back and do the things. But, when I was here a week ago, I talked about kind of shift by shift period by period, which will take care of the game. And that's what you have to have. Like, going into it this weekend here, now we're playing 2 games. There's nothing more important than Friday night. And Saturday doesn't matter right now. Friday is the night that you have to have the shift-by-shift mentality to carry over to gain momentum here. So, it's going to be a situation here where it's going to be a small, short-term focus on what we have to do.
How do you help, especially the younger guys, prepare for this first, not only road test, but first 2-game series?
It's a business trip. That's got to be the first and foremost thing in our minds. Like, it's not a situation we're going to Mankato for anything else other than business. And again, a situation where you're going down, you get into a routine of what we do on a Thursday, get into a routine of what we do on Friday morning with our meetings and our skate, and then we get into the games. And in order to have success, you have to have that mentality of having a business-like approach and making sure that the new guys in our group know that.
What, if anything, can you take away from last year's series against them that can help you guys out this year?
Yeah, I think it's about starting on time. I thought against Providence that, it took us 5 or 6 minutes to get in the game. Like, we're going into a road scenario where, it's a packed house. They have a lot of passionate fans that are loud in that building. And getting momentum right away is going to be a big thing, and making sure we jump both feet in right away. So I think it's a situation where absolutely starting on time and making sure that we get into the way we have to play.
You said you liked the way that TJ played Saturday, but preseason you mentioned that you're looking to give opportunities to your other 2 goaltenders. Do you have a timeline kind of in place for that, or is it kind of just a play-by-ear type of series?
Yeah, going into the season, you always want to try to give guys opportunity, and with Hobie, what he did last year, he deserves opportunity as well. TJ comes in from a program, has a really solid start for us here at the beginning of the season. So, absolutely, we want to try to give Hobie a little bit of opportunity, and especially early in the season, and do that. And saying that, TJ is going to get opportunity as well. So, we'll decide who's going to be starting, but at the end of the day, I would expect to see both those guys in a net on a short-term basis here to start the season.
And then yesterday I saw you tweeted, Jackson Blake obviously had his first career pro goal. What's it like for you seeing players that you coached, have the success at the next level?
Well, I think the very first thing is very proud of him coming through our program here and developing to get to the NHL. And, I think the biggest thing for us is when we have players leave our program that have 1 or 2 years of eligibility left, you always want to make sure that they leave in good standing as far as giving themselves a chance to play in the NHL. I got to be honest, just kind of reading what was going on, I don't think they were giving him a great chance to make that Carolina Hurricane team. I think he was pegged to be in the minors right away and work his way up. That tells you what Jackson Blake is, as far as, the what he did for a body of work here, being relentless, being a guy that was one of our best, if not our best player each and every day coming onto the ice. And for me as a coach, then it's worth it, because at the end of the day, when you leave North Dakota, which has a lot of things going on here, you want to make sure they have an opportunity for themselves to make the big club instead of being toiling in the minors for years on end. And he made an impact. Now for Jackson Blake, he got there, he has to stay there. He has to keep continuing to earn it to be that everyday NHL player. And a lot of our guys have done that just because of their humility and what they know what it takes to earn it every day.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That's all for now from Grand Forks, but stick with us. We will have another stream starting pretty soon here. I'll be catching up with Eric Moon, who's staying up at the Ralph for a little Q&A following that press conference. So keep it here, and we will be back in just a little bit with a second stream Q&A with our hockey expert, Eric Moon. We'll see you soon on Valley News Now.